and thank you for watching The Forum. I'm your host, Ashley Tate, here with my co-host, Christy Largent, and today we get to speak to a couple of ambassadors, and they are kids. Today we have a 10-year-old veteran ambassador, Preston Sharp. Preston, we're so excited to have you on the show.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And we're like two old moms who are going to get Preston to talk a lot for this show. You guys probably have heard about Preston or seen his little canister that he carries around because he came to attention by an article in the Record Searchlight this past Memorial Day, right before Memorial Day, because he wanted to put flags on veterans' graves.
Flags and flowers.
Flags and flowers.
And
so
I like
tell
that.
us a little bit about what you're doing. What is going on with this?
Okay, I went to the Reading Memorial Cemetery on Veterans Day, and I didn't see any of the any flags or flowers on any of the veterans' graves, and I didn't think that was okay, so I wanted to help raise money for that. And
what made you think it wasn't okay? What do you have veterans in your family?
Yes, my grandfather, he was in the Navy, and he was buried at the Reading Memorial Cemetery, and he kind of motivated me a lot to do this.
That's fantastic. I think it's such a, so you just decided like, hey, I'm just gonna you told your mom I just want to put flags and flowers, or what was the concept?
And my mom said, well, after we left the cemetery, and she said, if you want to do something, and like you can't stand there and just
talk about
it happen, you have to do something about it.
I like that. All right, that's a high five.
Yeah,
high five that, Preston.
there you go. So
right.
now you did more than just talk about it, for sure.
That's right.
Not only do you have a little canister, but you've been raising some money. And how have you been doing that?
I have a GoFundMe account that is Vet Flags and Flowers, and then I go to the Veterans Reading Memorial Cemetery every single Sunday at 8 now, because we used to go at 11:30, but now that it's summer, it's really hot, so we're going at 8. Yeah.
That's great.
And what do you do there every Sunday at 8?
I put flags and flowers out on veterans' grave sites.
So tell us about this. Did you decorate that? Tell us about your jar. Was that your decoration?
Well, we got that jar we have like a cupboard, and we just got it out of there.
Yep.
And then we put a small flag that we got, and then we put it in the...
What do you do with that jar?
I go around to like meetings and try to get donations.
That's fantastic.
What kind of meetings?
Has that been successful?
Yes, it has been very successful.
That's great.
So what meetings have you gone to?
The Tea Party,
Lions groups, Rotaries.
Lions, Rotary.
Let's try to think of some more.
Seroptimist? The women's Seroptimist, I bet?
No.
No, okay, so Seroptimist, you need to have him on.
That's
you need to have him at your meeting. So how many flags do you think you've placed so far?
Over 4,000
Wow.
and a little over 1,000 flowers.
Wow. And how much does it cost for each flag and each flower?
It costs $2 for flags and $1 for flowers, and they have to be red carnations.
Oh, now why do they have to be red carnations?
Because I want them to be, because they, if they're real flowers, then they could die and you have to replace them a lot, and if they're red carnations, they just look nice and they stay
fresh for a long time. That's good. That means you had to do a little bit of research on that.
Yes, I did.
That's pretty awesome. So what do you do? What do you do in your free time? Because I don't know if you have a lot of free time. You go every Sunday.
Yeah. And then my free time.
Yeah, you play soccer and.
I usually play with my brother. Or.
Hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Do music. Do you do any music?
No. Well, guitar, kind of.
That's a huge thing.
Good. And where are you in school?
Guitar.
Where do you go to school?
Columbia Elementary.
Okay, and what grade are you going into?
5th. I'm going to move into Mountain View.
Nice.
Oh, you're going to go to Mountain View for 5th grade. Good.
So,
well, go ahead, Ashley.
I was going to ask if you've enlisted any other kids to help you do this. Can people volunteer to help you?
Yes, they can if they go to the Reading Memorial Cemetery every single Sunday at 8.
They just show up.
And-
Do you want them to bring their
Yeah.
flags and their carnations too, or are you going to provide those for them?
We can provide them, and we mostly, if you can find like red carnations, then that would help me a lot.
Okay.
Do you want live carnations or silk? Like fake flowers or real?
Fake flowers.
They're fake.
Oh, they're fake.
So you
Oh,
could grab a
okay.
bunch at the dollar store as long as they're red
Yeah.
carnations.
Yes.
And bring them at 8 o'clock to the memorial
Yeah.
cemetery.
That's
Is
another
that right?
good field trip for kids and grandkids and grandparents and parents taking. That sounds so. 8 o'clock, Reading Memorial Cemetery, and where do they meet you?
They're on, once you go in the Reading Memorial Cemetery in the opening, you go all the way right to the veterans. There's like a veterans area, but it's not with all the veterans, it's just with the, about 200.
Okay.
And that's where we usually start off, and then we go forward, like replacing the flags if they're damaged, or like putting them back up straight.
That is,
Do you have the cemetery mapped out, like where the veterans' flagstones are, or do you have to just find them
We have
as you
to
walk through?
we have to just find them when we walk through, because they have veteran like signs on them.
Symbols, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty
Well,
impressive.
good. Well, what do you think you've learned? I mean, this is a pretty big experience that you're doing. You've created the GoFundMe account, which is still going on. You're motivating other people to come help you and inspiring other people. Do you feel like there's a lesson that you've learned from this, or that you'd encourage others with?
When you see something wrong, you don't just stand there and watch it be like being wrong. You go and fix it and try to make it better.
That's right, and you did that, and that's a huge lesson for a lot of people. And some people, even as adults, don't get that. And you got it at 10 years old. I mean, that's huge.
Do you know, what is your GoFundMe account called? How can they find it online?
The Vet Flags and Flowers.
Vet Flags and Flowers on GoFundMe, which is a crowdsourced fundraising site.
Yeah.
Where have people donated to you from? Because I know it'll put on there their name. Do you know what states or countries they're from that have funded you?
All over.
Like the world, or California, or Reading, all over what?
California, and we had some donations from Texas.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
So how far are you going to take this? Are you going to go outside of the Reading Memorial Cemetery and go somewhere else?
We're going to the Reading Memorial Cemetery, and we're almost done with that, and then we're moving on to Longcrest.
Oh, wow.
And we're gonna ask the owner this time, because they were they were the same. That's the same owner of the Reading Memorial Cemetery, and so.
So you have to ask the owners to put the flags and the flowers on, even though it hasn't been done before. You have to ask.
Actually,
Well,
it's been
it
done, because like the
has.
Cub Scouts do it every Memorial Day.
But they don't. Apparently, they don't get everybody.
Well, they do, but what happens is when they maintain the cemetery, they have to take the flags up so that they can mow and everything. And sometimes they get put back, and sometimes they don't.
Okay.
So yeah, and so when he's coming in, it's exciting because they're like making sure that every week
That's
that
right.
those is that about accurate?
Yeah, but now when they take the flags off, they have they have other kids too. I forgot.
They have other
The Cub Scouts?
No, I can't.
like another organization.
No.
Okay.
That's all right. We'll come back to that. When you get it, just blurt it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens to all of us.
Oh yeah, it's called brain freeze. I think our viewers are very familiar with that.
So it's interesting. So you're going to keep taking it to other places now. When you go, do you guys record or video, or like do you have a website that you put it on besides GoFundMe? Do you like Instagram it all the time, or how do you do that?
My Facebook page.
Facebook page. Let's hear it.
Preston Sharp.
Hey,
Ew.
Preston Sharp. So you have
There
to
we
check
go.
that out.
That's Sharp
and
without
see-
an E.
Yes.
S-H-A-R-P, right?
Yes.
It's plain. Preston Sharp is your Facebook page.
Yes.
And people can contact you through there as well?
Yes, they can.
Okay, and say like, hey, I'm going to come meet you this Sunday, so look for us.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So how has your family supported you in this endeavor?
Well, my mom has been taking me to the Reading Memorial Cemetery with her car, and because I can't drive. That helps me a lot.
Does she take you out to get the flags or help you order online? Or
She gets the flowers at the dollar store and then orders the flags online.
Okay, good.
So do you see it becoming like a bigger organization that you can replicate maybe and have other kids do it in other places? Or have you not gotten that far yet? You just want people to donate so you can keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever stop until I can't bend down anymore. So.
Oh.
So you really, why is this so important to you?
Because the veterans have fought for us and gave their lives to us, and so you need to honor them because they gave their lives, and it's kind of not right to not pay attention to them or not give them any awards or anything.
Right. We don't want to forget them, right?
Yeah.
And you want to make sure of that.
That's good.
Yeah, it is.
You need to be a Boy Scout with that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts are like that. Honor
true.
the flag and the veterans for doing good and keeping us free, right?
Yeah.
That's what our flag symbolizes, right? Our freedom.
He's like a flag scout.
Yeah, you
made
are.
his
You're
own
like a
thing.
flag scout. So
I think Preston's getting a kick out of all my little
I
things.
know. Veteran ambassador, flag scout.
Hey, you know, when you create your own thing, you got to create your own little labels, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty amazing. You're what, 11? How old are you?
I am 10.
You're 10 going into 5th grade and you're already creating this kind of a movement. So
Yeah,
I
definitely
think
is a
that's
movement.
encouraging for all of us, huh?
Yeah.
Because we all think, gosh, I have this great idea, and then do we move on it or not?
But I
That's
love
the big
that his mom
question.
said, just if you see something, then
Yeah.
you got to fix it yourself.
Yeah.
And at least start. And so you may have created a movement where if people are coming out or you tell your school about it and then your students go out, it could be a field trip, it could be lots of things, a project that people take on.
Right.
And so
So Preston Sharp on Facebook is probably the best way to get a hold of him. Preston Sharp on Facebook, and also that'll link you over to the GoFundMe, I'm guessing. So thanks for coming on, Preston.
You're welcome.
It was awesome. We love having you, and we'll be right back after a quick break.
Hey, we are back and we're talking to another ambassador, but we're talking about a beef ambassador. And Adam, I'm going to get this right, Adam Blalock.
Got it. First
Okay,
try.
all right, first try. So Adam, tell us a little bit about
What is
A beef
ambassador?
So a beef ambassador, I'm going to talk about my local role in Shasta County,
Yeah.
and I won another competition, so I'm the Northern California Junior Beef Ambassador.
Wow.
So in Shasta County, it's more, I go around locally. I'm really involved in the California Cattlemen, our local Shasta County Cattlemen and Shasta County Cattlewomen.
Okay.
So I go to all their events. Like I went to the logging conference a couple months
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
I'm going to be at the fair. So if you
Okay.
guys want to see me at the fair,
Yes.
just go to the Red Barn, the really small one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's I don't really know. It's just on the side tree, sort
And
of.
what will we see when we get to the red?
So we have like brochures that have a whole bunch of like recipes and like more information about the beef industry, and then I just get to talk there. I'll be there for a few hours every day.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'll be there every day.
What does a beef ambassador do? Tell people to eat meat?
No, like I just try and like remove some misconceptions about like its unhealthiness or anything. If they have like questions about it, just like some common stuff that people may not fully understand.
Do you talk about like how to determine good beef from, maybe so there are misconceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get local beef and you're promoting Shasta County beef, right? How does that process look for us in Shasta County?
Well, I'm actually a huge advocate of like our locally grown and I love like farmers markets. I love that idea like more than anything because that's like you get to meet the people that are growing your food and you get to talk to them and there's no other way to be able to communicate firsthand with the people who grow your food than like a farmer's market. I think that's just like so awesome and incredible.
Yeah.
And that's I think hopefully what we keep moving on to. And I love that City Hall has it, and then down at Anderson the outlets have it every now and then. And it's just like seasonal food that I think taste so much better than they're coming from the store.
It
Yeah.
does.
And then
Absolutely.
you get like
Yep.
the peace of mind makes you like feel even better. You're like, oh, that person I got to look in the eye, shake their hand,
Right.
and have like
Right.
a first like
Right.
one-on-one transaction, so I know exactly where I'm gonna just use this example because I really like
absolutely,
peaches. Peaches are like locally grown peaches are the absolute best, and then I get to know that like everything that's gone on. I can ask them if I have a question. I'm just
right.
gonna use this because I'm gonna come from like a normal consumer standpoint instead of
Yes.
about beef. I can ask them questions like, so how long does it take for a peach to grow? Like how
Right.
much do you use pesticides? Do you
Yes.
use herbicides? Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Like how do you control your orchards? I don't know, undergrowth.
right.
Like all this stuff that I don't know about, I don't have to go to the store, and I just sort of look at them on a
Yeah.
tray, and that's what I'm trying to do more for beef. Like I really love the locally grown transition, but I also have to advocate for like the larger beef industry because
Yeah, how are you connected with the larger beef industry?
so I had to learn a lot about it since I'm just from Shasta County, and my family owns a ranch out in Millville.
Okay.
So I had to learn about where it goes after it leaves my family, like where a calf goes after it leaves my family's ranch.
Right.
And I thought that was really interesting.
Where does it go? Educate us.
So I'm just going to use my personal experience.
Okay.
So after we sell it, we usually go to the auction yard, and then people buy it from there.
So you go to the auction yard down in Cottonwood?
Yes.
So we had the
Oh,
owner on a
yes.
couple weeks ago. If you missed that show, you need to go back and watch it. It's
Yeah.
fascinating
Yeah,
to see how that's
Ellington Peak.
Ellington
Yeah.
Peak, yep.
Okay, so your beef goes there to the auction yard.
And then most of it, or a lot of it, I know, goes to Harris Ranch down. Oh, where is that? That's what, Central California, right?
Oh, wow.
But I've been there, but I know a bit more about the UC Davis feedlot because that's one of the places I'm trying to go for college.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been down there a few times, and I just like watched the process of them feeding it out, and I took a walk through their meat laboratory
Yeah.
where they process the beef,
Yeah.
and you get to see it all in the entire process of it, and
Fascinating.
it's really interesting, and like everything they do, and like I was like amazed at how clean it was. Like it literally looks spotless. It looks like a laboratory.
Wow.
And then
So the Harris Ranch is what we see or buy in the store sometimes, right?
yeah, that's a really common. I think Rayleigh's, like
yeah,
our local
Rayleigh's, I think even Holiday has Harris Ranch.
They've been
okay, so that
advertising
is
it a lot.
local. That's local beef.
It can be. I know that's Harris Ranch is pretty big.
Okay.
They take from probably a few hundred like miles away from there, but then they get brought in. So
In the scope of things, I would call that local.
Yes,
Yeah,
right,
that's-
right,
I mean,
exactly.
especially for California.
Totally, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's still pretty local
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us. So then, so you're thinking like, so the Harris Ranch beef ends up at UC Davis?
Oh no,
Is
that's
that-
not.
oh,
They're
that's
two
a separate.
separate. But I
Okay.
was just talking about like what I know from like I walked through the UC Davis feedlot, and I actually brought down some cows. I did a really cool ranch to rail program. So I raised up 10 calves, and then I sent them to UC Davis, and then they fed them out like in a feedlot, just like a feedlot would,
Okay.
and they sent them through their meat lab and processed them, and then they sold them at their. They sell every. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, and don't quote me on it. Every Saturday they have like a sale of all the
Okay.
beef that they've done, or all the
At
meat
UC
they've
Davis?
done. Yeah, at UC Davis.
I think it's at their farmers market, and they.
Oh, yeah, it might
It's a
be.
huge farmers market there.
Yes.
I mean, and because it's an ag school,
Sure.
you get to come and
And it's all fresh.
Oh my
and
God, it's amazing.
So they finish
Yeah.
the beef there in their feedlot, right? And that's what you hear about. With
Yeah.
the corn feeding versus grass, and finish them with corn, and it tastes better.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's like kind
Yeah.
of
That
it's
goes
a
into-
science.
And there's, and it's
a total
all right, I'm
science.
just gonna do a little misconception here. It's not just corn. They have like, you know what distillers grains are? Like
No.
after people brew alcohol. So like Sierra Nevada sells all their.
Where's that beef coming from? I'd like to get some of that.
It's really common because
Really?
it's really inexpensive and
So
it's
they
really.
sell the after grain,
Yeah.
basically. The
Yeah.
grain that
Yeah.
has been used to brew beer
Yeah.
or ale is it's not just thrown away.
Yeah,
it's
no,
repurposed,
yeah.
reused,
and it
That's
gets
really
sent there,
interesting.
and then
and
they
it gets
use.
fed to the cows.
And like, you know how with corn, after they take off the corn cob itself,
yeah.
all that stuff that's on the ground, that will usually, a lot of the time, get repurposed as feed.
Oh,
so,
Really?
Yeah.
Cows can eat that.
Yeah, they'll just
The husk of
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
of
they'll
the
just gnaw
corn.
on it, and then you'll leave the stalk, and then usually that just gets ground up and turned into like fertilizer or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's good. So there's not waste. You're
Yeah.
using it all. You're
Yeah,
using
the ag
it all.
industry has gotten a lot better at turning stuff into, trying to take byproducts of the ag industry, and because it's all natural,
Sure.
all natural stuff, you can just turn it like even like the lowest part of it, you can just turn that into fertilizer, and then bam, you've got a fantastic fertilizer to help grow the next.
So I want to know how you got,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you
Or
grew up
food.
on a ranch, but how did you get interested in agriculture? I mean, to actually take this as a true interest, something you do in school, and now you do it outside of school. How did you get into that?
I think it all started with 4-H. I joined 4-H when I was 9, when I was in 4th grade. So I started doing speaking and stuff like that, and then you have to go out in the public a lot. We do a lot of volunteer work. I know with my little 9-year-olds that I'm the team leader with for my 4-H group. We volunteer everywhere, it seems. Yeah. So you probably see us out there in I have a white hat and our
little white
white
uniform.
suits. Mm-hmm.
It's
Now,
so
how do you get
ironic to me. They're in all white.
I
and
know,
they're
doing such
in the dirt,
I
working
know.
with these animals. I'm like, what?
I think-
At
How
the
do you
fair,
get-
you see that.
How do you get kids into 4-H? If there are parents here that are interested in getting their kids in 4-H and getting them started, how do they do that?
I would just start by Googling it. I think that'd probably be the best way, because
Okay.
then you can go onto the 4-H website, and then that's going to start leading you through. That's going to be the easiest way to start. Or you could just find someone who's involved in 4-H, and then you can talk to them in the next meeting. You can just show up, and then I think, especially my 4-H group, they're all so helpful, and they're like so ready to get involved.
And you're the Shasta County 4-H group, is that right?
No,
Or-
I'm in Foothill 4-H.
Oh, Foothill 4-H. Okay, and do you have to be in Foothill in Palisadro or in that area to?
No, you can. I have. I'm just gonna use my cousin as an example.
Yeah,
He's from
yeah.
Happy Valley, so he drives out to Foothill 4-H because that was my original 4-H group.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be able to. I didn't want to change groups because I love my group.
Yeah.
So I told him to just come there, and it's a once a month meeting, and then you get to talk with. You get to go through the whole process of having a meeting and all that good.
And they are so. The one thing I've noticed is they are so helpful to each other. Like if your kids came in and you didn't have room for a sheep on your land, or you didn't have room for whatever animal, the 4-Hers kind of band together and help each other, and it's really remarkable.
I did that with him. I
See?
had his steer at my house for 4 months, I think.
Yeah. So really fun at the fair to go in the look at what the 4-Hers have done. It's really remarkable. You're learning everything from like how to run a business, because it all costs money, right? To how to take care of the animals, to how to set a goal and achieve it. Now, are you paid as an ambassador? Is this a paid position?
Unpaid. I do it purely purely for fun.
She was trying to get you paid though.
Yeah.
I know. So, but can you see this parlaying into, future career? What are you going to do with this?
I think so. I'm really thinking about going into something like ag communications or something, or possibly agribusiness. And I think that's going to be probably the way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because then I get to be involved in the ag industry, and I love being outside. I don't want to have to be stuck inside.
You'd be a great spokesperson for it. I mean,
Yes.
you come out and you're very polished. You know your stuff, and you're passionate about it, and you can see that. And I mean, as adults, we would tell anybody, if you're passionate about something, do it in college for sure.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
find a way to get paid for it.
That's right.
That's what I always say. What do you love, and then how can you get paid for
That's
doing
right,
that?
that's right, yeah.
So kudos to you for
Absolutely.
Thank you.
for working so hard and being such an excellent spokesman for the beef industry. What's your favorite beef? I think we have time to ask. What is your favorite beef meal?
My cut, I'm gonna have to go with hamburger, just because it's so easy to use.
Yes.
Like I can put that in like a quesadilla. I can put that, just turn it into a hamburger. You can do like anything with hamburger. It's like just the best.
The magic food.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. So.
And I will tell you, my brother raised some cows a couple years ago, and Melrose was who we got. And we ate Melrose for over a year, and she delivered us, that Melrose, I don't know if it was a boy or girl. I think it
probably a
must
boy.
have been a boy. Melrose gave us the most yummiest beef. We are ruined. We cannot just buy ordinary meat again,
No, it's
because
hard.
once you've had that kind of primo, well-loved, Melrose was loved.
Or antelope,
You know?
any of that stuff. Do you eat any other wild game or anything?
I have a little.
Okay, because so antelope and elk, we lived off that for a while.
And it was same story.
Oh my
You're
gosh,
like,
it's
it's
so hard
good
to go
and
to
hard.
anything else.
I know. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for coming on. What a
thank
great
you so much.
spokesman for the beef industry and beef in general.
I'm definitely gonna be looking
What's
for her.
the ad? Eat more beef. Isn't that the ad?
I don't know. Is that that?
I don't think
know.
I haven't
never
seen that.
What?
I don't know.
Did I just make that up? I think that's an old
sounded good.
I think it's an old Wendy's ad.
It sounded good.
Okay, you guys, you have spent another half hour with Christy Largent, Ashley Tate, and our fabulous guests today talking about things kids can do when they put their mind to it. Become ambassadors. Create what you want. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.